Myth or fact? Was the fictional inventor John Galt secretly a portrait of the real-life genius Nikola Tesla? This question has followed Ayn Rand's epic novel, Atlas Shrugged, for decades. It is a compelling thought, a story that bridges a literary world with our own history. Some readers see an undeniable connection, drawing a straight line between the struggles of the character and the tribulations of the man. Others argue that the comparison is superficial, missing the deeper philosophical core of the book. The truth, as it often does, lies somewhere in the middle, and exploring this link reveals a great deal not only about the past, but about our world today. The idea itself is easy to understand. Both figures are titans of invention, men who envisioned a world powered by revolutionary new forms of energy. To understand the comparison, we must first understand the character at its center. John Galt is the mysterious hero of Ayn Rand's 1957 novel, Atlas Shrugged. For much of the book, he is not a person, but a question. Who is John Galt? This question becomes a common saying, a phrase of hopelessness or confusion. It signifies a world where things no longer make sense, where the engines are stopping and the lights are going out. The answer to this question is the answer to why the world is collapsing. He is the prime mover who has gone missing. John Galt is, first and foremost, a brilliant physicist and inventor. He is a man of supreme intellect and ability. He discovers a revolutionary new source of energy. He invents a motor that can draw static electricity from the atmosphere. It converts static electricity into a cheap, limitless supply of power. This invention could transform society, free humanity from finite resources, usher in unprecedented prosperity. This motor is the central symbol of human potential in the novel. But the world does not celebrate such achievements. It is a society drowning in collectivist ideals, where group needs outweigh individual rights. His employer, the 20th Century Motor Company, decides profits and control should be shared. The company's new slogan becomes, "From each according to his ability." This principle directly affronts Galt's view of justice and morality. In response, John Galt does the unthinkable. He refuses to let his mind be expropriated. He destroys the blueprints, abandons his workshop, and walks away. He declares, "I will stop the motor of the world." He begins a quiet, systematic strike of creative producers. He seeks out the most productive and creative individuals, the industrialists, the composers, the philosophers, the scientists. He persuades them to abandon the world that exploits them. He convinces them to shrug off the burden of carrying a society that has turned against them. Now, let us turn from the world of fiction to the world of fact. Nikola Tesla was a real person, an inventor and an engineer who lived from 1856 to 1943. He was a Serbian-American genius whose work laid the foundation for much of our modern technological world. He is most famous for his contributions to the design of the alternating current (AC) electrical system. This system allows for the efficient transmission of electricity over long distances and is the standard used across the globe today. Without Tesla's work on AC motors and transformers, the electrical grid as we know it would not exist. He was, in no uncertain terms, one of the fathers of the electric age. Tesla's mind was a waterfall of brilliant ideas. He held over 300 patents for his inventions. He pioneered work in radio technology, and many historians now credit him with inventions once attributed to Guglielmo Marconi. He experimented with X-rays, built one of the first remote-controlled devices, a small boat, and delved into the science of cryogenics. His most visually stunning creation was the Tesla coil, a device that produces high-voltage, low-current, high-frequency AC electricity, creating spectacular bolts of lightning in his laboratory. His demonstrations captivated the public and made him a celebrity scientist. Like the fictional Galt, Tesla was driven by grand visions for the future of energy. He dreamed of a world where power could be transmitted wirelessly without the need for a web of expensive copper cables. His Wardenclyffe Tower project on Long Island was intended to be the first step toward this global wireless system. He believed he could use the Earth's own resonant frequency, but electrical energy to any point on the planet. This was a concept so far ahead of its time that many of his contemporaries, including his financial backers, struggled to understand it or believe in its feasibility. Tesla was also a man of peculiar habits and a distinct personality. He was known for his showmanship, his photographic memory, and his intense focus on his work, which often came at the expense of his personal life. He remained unmarried and dedicated himself almost entirely to his inventions. He was a visionary who saw the future with incredible clarity, but he often had difficulty translating those visions into profitable business ventures. This combination of extraordinary intellect and practical challenges makes his life story one of both triumph and tragedy, a narrative that has captured the imagination of people for over a century. When we place the stories of John Galt and Nikola Tesla side by side, the similarities are indeed striking and difficult to ignore. The most obvious parallel is that both were revolutionary inventors who developed new forms of energy. Galt's motor, which pulls power from the atmosphere. Tesla's vision for a global wireless energy system. Both represent a leap beyond conventional technology. They are both based on the idea of tapping into a free, abundant source of power that could fundamentally change human civilization. Furthermore, both Galt and Tesla found themselves in direct conflict with established economic and social systems. John Galt's motor was appropriated by a company operating on a collectivist principle, from each according to his ability, to each according to his need. So, was John Galt really Nikola Tesla? The answer in the end is no. John Galt was not Nikola Tesla. To say he was would be to mistake inspiration for biography. It is highly probable that Ayn Rand, in crafting her fictional inventor, drew upon the popular image of men like Tesla, brilliant misunderstood visionaries, grand ideas about energy. The true value of this myth is not in its accuracy, but in the enduring questions it forces us to confront. The great minds matter, and the choice of how we treat them will define our future.